Welcome, Bitcoin fam, to the #1 Bitcoin pod. In today's show, I'll be sharing the latest technical analysis, as well as a rally to 150,000 here coming soon. Also, breaking news just in. President Trump says he selected a new Federal Reserve chairman and that he will be announced very soon. Max Keiser responded, "Can't wait. Bitcoin 2.2 million in play. See ya on the other side." That's right. We'll also be discussing breaking news. Max Keiser dropped the bombshell and announced launching his own political party called Orange Pill Party and running for president in 2028. We'll be discussing this, as well as Trump touts memecoin, a sentiment gauge, as 220 million unlock nears. We'll also be discussing full porting Bitcoin could be Musk's trump card in the feud, according to Bitcoiners such as Samson Mao, who wrote, "Elon Musk, it's time to go all in on Bitcoin. Tesla can take Bitcoin for payments again and implement a Bitcoin treasury strategy. SpaceX can give a discount on launches paid in Bitcoin, force a hard money standard on the money printers." We'll also be discussing $31 million Bitcoin donation, a Ross, traced to Alpha Bay and not Silk Road. Also breaking news, Trump media to raise $12 billion via securities offering, most probably, I would assume, to purchase some Bitcoin there. We'll also be discussing Bitcoin will hit $1 million during the Trump presidency, according to Arthur Hayes. Just blaze. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. Happy Sat Stacking Saturday. Give it up for your former chairman of the SEC, Nipinator. He's going to be running again, so please vote NIP for SEC chair. And shout out everyone in the live chat. What it do? Fairground, good to have you here. Keeping it fair. Darth Melda, Darth JV here. It's good to have you here. Shout out Fairground. Always, brother, watching from Cornwall, England. And shout out Howard Joblo. Well, welcome to the live stream, try stream. We are streaming live on X, Rumble, and YouTube, and I will be streaming over the course of the next couple of hours. And crazy. Did you guys see that new Coinbase commercial? Back in 2012, that house cost 30,000 Bitcoin. This year, 5 Bitcoin. And just to give you some perspective on the purchasing power of Bitcoin versus the dwindling value or purchasing power of the dollar. So yeah, I just went ahead and pinned it, so it's officially pinned to the top of the profile. All quotes and comments I'll be able to repost. This is how we hack the algorithm and orange pill more the masses. Massive shout out to Jan3 founder Samson Mao. I saw he reposted my post a little earlier promoting the stream. Of course, shout out Max Keiser. Again, he's running for president in 2028. I'll share with you the tweets as well as the poll. Elon even announced creating a new party, but my understanding is, according to the rules, he's not going to be able to do so, at least according to Max. So we have the Orange Pill Party. So we will be discussing that. Shout out to the Oracle. Missed yesterday. It's all good in the hood. Appreciate you being here today. Shout out Chris FX Trader. Good to have you here. Shout out Shelton. Greatly appreciate the support. Join JV and the CNA crew for the best in the crypto news. Just hit you with a repost. Shout out Andreas Blitz. Shout out Brandon Martin. Max for president. You already know. And shout out Lost in the Matrix. Lost but found. The orange pill. Remember Morpheus? He give Neo the choice. You get the blue pill. You wake up in Wonderland, or you can take the red pill. Well, with the biddy, we got the orange pill. And please say no. America's new Fed chairman, unacceptable. Peter Schiffmeister. Oh, hell no. Golder versus Bitcoiner. Meme says 1,000 words. All I'm saying. Thank you guys again. And of course, Nipinator's running for chairman of the SEC. Vote NIP as your new chair. He's about to take over. I mean, if you want to keep it fair, and just like Fairground says, just saying. But thank you guys. Looks like I'm reposted, everyone. Tether CEO says self-custody should be taught in every high school. Yeah, how about we teach it in middle school and elementary school as well while we're at it, versus just for the adults. Just saying. And thanks again, just reposting everybody. Welcome everyone to the live stream. Get your espresso, double shot while it's hot. JV, I'm at home watching the greatest show on the tube. Love you. Right back at you, DNA. Welcome to the live stream. Let's get it.
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay, what's the second best? There is no second best.
I'm not saying I'm number one. I'm sorry, I lied. I'm number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
There's no second best crypto asset. There's a crypto asset. It's called Bitcoin, right? The point is, if you have the superior asset, it's going up forever, Laura.
I was trying to get JV to say Workshire. Did I even get close? Workshire. Let me know if I'm even remotely close. Yeah, Peter Schiff lost his mind, but maybe he's coming to his senses. Yesterday he dropped the bombshell admitting to sleeping with many underage girls and justifying a behavior which is disgusting, which we won't even mention the term live on a YouTube. But promoting any type of PDF file behavior is unacceptable in my book, especially when this guy gets invited to speak at Bitcoin conferences, which still boggles the mind. But maybe he came to some of his senses today because people are nudging him. Peter, this is making you look pretty bad. You should probably remove that tweet talking about having sex with underage girls. And I did confirm it. He removed it this morning. But the damage is already done. Everyone done already screenshotted it, Peter. And we know your true colors. So hide your kids, just saying, around Peter.
Take all your time, figure out how to borrow more money to buy more Bitcoin. Then take all your time and figure out what you can sell to buy Bitcoin.
Tell him, Michael.
And if you absolutely love the thing that you don't want to sell it, go mortgage your house and buy Bitcoin with it.
Worcestershire. Okay. Worcestershire. That's a simple one when you break it down into syllables. Thank you, Dan.
If you've got a business that you love because your family works for the business, it's in your family for 37 years, and you can't bear to sell it, mortgage it, finance it, and convert the proceeds into the hardest money on earth, which is Bitcoin.
Pretty much, Knox. Good point. Reputation takes a lifetime to build. Not to say Peter had a good reputation, but he sure wasn't known as doing things with underage kids. One tweet just ruined it. Trust that. I'm never going to let that go because he's been relentlessly trolling Bitcoiners and making fun of us and what we stand for. Since I've entered the space in 2017, I've witnessed at least, that's 8 years of ongoing abusive bullshit coming out of his mouth. And if people actually listen to that clown, they would have missed out on the greatest opportunity in human history, known as Bitcoin. So I have this is what it is. Ask facts. Worcestershire is what I say. The Worcestershire. All right. That's easy enough. Mikey Saylor, always for the win. Notice Michael Saylor, Peter Schiff, has never posted anything about bragging about having sex with underage kids. That's just not something you should be proud of, brother, if you're listening, which I highly doubt.
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay.
There is no second best.
So chilling hot with my Bitcoin. You feel that? Swagger from the Biddy stack.
And shout out Adam Taylor, Maria Lewis, the J-Mac. Keep the comments coming. All comments and quotes on X will get reposted. We'll get as many people on the stream. We're about to kick it off.
It goes up, up, up. Bitcoin goes.
It goes doing, doing, doing.
It's a thrill ride. A stack deck built so right. Gonna bust out of the firmament. Beyond the water-filled sky.
And shout out Chandy 10 for producing the best Bitcoin music, which we always play on the stream. Larry says it's Worcestershire. Everyone has a different pronunciation there. Dan says it's Worcestershire. Adam says it's Worcestershire. Holy shit. Now I understand. None of us are going to agree upon the pronunciation. But Adam says he's English. Let's ask the Nippinator. Worcestershire. All right, we'll take it with Worcester, huh?
Trust this, don't wear a nail on your forehead with an opportunity miss. Bitcoin thrust, fiat rust, stamp your future and still.
Keep it with swagger, secure and Superman. Real B is Satoshi level. Trump card holding kinda killer.
With W's and M's for the orange pill, set for making million.
I got that Bitcoin swagger. You got that Bitcoin swagger. We got that Bitcoin swagger.
Stacking sats, feeling bad, looking sharper than a dagger. Be an Arkansas gem with diamond hands tough.
Got no kryptonite, just orange bitty light. Paper gets wrinkled, crinkled.
Texas,
Hold 'em,
Montana,
hold 'em,
Missouri,
hold 'em,
New York,
hold 'em,
Florida,
hold 'em.
Puerto Rico, El Salvador.
You already know.
Swagger holding with an orange glow.
Prodigy.
Swagger hot.
Reserve to preserve, strategy for
You
prosperity.
feel that? That's Bitcoin swagger, baby.
Walking like your wallet got laser eyes.
Bitty climbs higher than a high rise. Laser eyes, not surprised.
I got that bitty drip, fiat doing backflips. We don't beg no banker, we just walk with that Bitcoin swag. Bitcoin swagger.
Chandy 10 should have more followers. Absolutely. And for those that don't know the backstory, when she first discovered the show, it was roughly a year ago, around the time of the Bitcoin Strawberry Moon. And she went from 0 to 100,000 subs on her original YouTube channel in less than 60 days. It was like 40 something days, 100,000 subs. My mind was blown because I've been working towards achieving 100,000 subs for the past 7 years. And she achieved it in like 40 something days. But ironic enough, she dropped a Kamala diss track back when Kamala was running against the Trumpster. And the algorithm hated it, and since that day she stopped getting any virtually 99% of her subscriptions seized, and pretty much she was shadow banned like I have been for the past 5 years. So apparently YouTube did not like that, and she speaks very freely just as I do, so it's no question the algorithms don't love us and show us no love. But nonetheless, she is now chooses to not put her content on YouTube, hence why she doesn't even have a YouTube channel. So if anyone wants to support her and her music, which is amazing, just make sure you're following her on X. Chandy10 Music is the username, and I know she's working on creating a website where everyone will be able to like download her music from there. But as soon as it's launched, we'll definitely let you know. Shout out Pam Powers. Good to have you here. Worcestershire. Say it quick, then you have it. Worcestershire. Let me know if that's right. We'll strike the gong for the Worcestershire. The combination made my funds bleed on a sat stacking Saturday. That's what I'm saying. Stack the biddies, broskies. Stack the biddies. And thanks again, Darth Melda. She says, best Bitcoin community. And just said you would a repost. Thank you, Adam. And of course, JC Ice. Baby. JB 77 on the 26 gave myself the gift 6,000 when the biddy just dropped to 100. 101. Congratulations, Howard. Well done, broski. Keep stacking the biddy and you can't go wrong. You're prepared for the fiat bond apocalypse. But anyways, if you're new to the channel, important, smash the likes, go ahead, subscribe, then ring the bell, turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. Today is pod episode 2015. I'm your host, JV. Happy Sat Stack and Saturday. Bitcoin market back in the green. We did recapture 106,000 a little bit ago. You should be able to see Coin 360 on your screen. Shows we're currently sitting at 106.3, up 1.7% on the day. Ether, BNB, XRP, virtually everything pumping it in the green, baby. And checking out coinmarketcap.com. The current crypto market cap sits at 3.3 trillion, even McGeven. And the all-time high is 3.75, so we're getting close to eclipsing that. And the Bitcoin market cap today, 2.1 trillion, and we have 85 billion of volume past 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance back on the rise, 63.8%, with the Ether dominance at 9.2%. Checking out top 100 crypto gainers past 24 hours. We got AB up 22%, followed by Athena up 10%, followed by Injective up almost 8%. But which alts, if any, are you bullish on for the bull? Holla at your boy. And checking out the crypto bubbles, we get a visual perspective on the day. Safe to say, almost everything is in the green. We love days like today. Ironic. It's a Sat Stack and Saturday, and everything's in the green. And checking out on the weekly, I dare say 65-35 red over green, and zooming out on the monthly, maybe 70-30 red over green. And checking out for the yearly, similar, I'd say maybe 80-20 wrecked over green. And checking out the crypto greed and fear index, today we're 52 neutral. Yesterday 45 fear, which is the lowest it's been in a hot minute. Last week of 50, and last month of 65 in greed. And checking out the infamous Time chain calendar. Just the other day, we surpassed the 900,000 block milestone today. To be precise, we're at 900,199. We have 149,801 blocks into the halving of 2028. And as of today, June 7th, 2025, you can trade one fiat monopoly dollar for 944 cents. So you know what to do. You pick up the sats, put down the gats, and pick up some Bitcoin caps from my man Sergio over at bitcoincaps.net. Cop yourself an exclusive CNA bitty cap, just like this. About effing time the alts move. I know. They haven't really had much of an alt season this time around. 0.5 BTC if it stays at 105. Word up. Keep buying the biddies. Number one, DCA every day. Darth Melda holding down the number one community crown. This gong strikes for you, Darth. That's Bitcoin swagger, baby. And shout out Oracle. She dropped a direct link to cop your exclusive CNA cap. The word steak marinade liquid was pronounced well. Hit the likes, you bunch of degens. Easy now. Nipinators living his best life. Let me know if you spot the nip. He's like, anywhere but the bed. And again, welcome everyone just joining the live stream, tri-stream. We just smashed 400 people between X Rumble and YouTube. Live with JV. Shout out KZY Crypto. Reminder, comments and quotes will get reposted. So thank you guys. Shout out Nico from Simply Bitcoin. I appreciate the support, brother. Shout out Robert O'Connor, Mad Love, and of course, JC Ice. Make sure you're following that account in particular on X. It's JC Ice. She is the Oracle. She says we are live. Come on, watch the number one Bitcoin pod on the planet, on this flat plane, I dare say, on this stationary earth, as per God's word. But yeah, we're stacking the biddy. No diddy. How you feeling today, Melda? Oracle asks. That gong gets me excited. Yeah, we're raising the consciousness one gong strike at a time with the Bitcoin swag.
Yo,
I got that Bitcoin swagger. You got that Bitcoin swagger. We got that Bitcoin swagger.
stacking sats, feeling bad, looking sharper than a dagger. QR flash, got cash in my code. Cold wallet, chiller than a Yeti in the snow.
Doing, cold storm for the rocket flame. Take up, lift up, so chill as we.
And speaking of cold storage, just a reminder, not your keys, not your coins, only keep on the exchanges what you can afford to lose, just like with fiat dollars, only keep at your local JP Morgan Chase Bank what you can afford to lose, and never trust the lizard folks such as Jamie Dimon, but I know I'm preaching to the choir, ain't I? I only turned to check the nips was okay, but decided to stick around just for a little bit. At least you're honest, Dan. I appreciate that. You got to respect it. All hail the Nipinator, former chairman of the SEC. But anyways, let's now transition into our TA, aka astrology for the baddies. Headline reads, is the Bitcoin price rally to 150,000 really possible this year? Yeah, I dare say if I look at my magic 8 ball, I'd say that's extremely bearish. But you guys let me know your thoughts and we'll break this baby down. Bitcoin's painting what appears to be an inverse cup and handle pattern with the neckline near 100,800 acting as current support. We did maintain, we virtually just tested that the other day when we were at like 100,500-ish, but good to see it held up. Based on the inverse cup and handle pattern, a breakout below 100,800 will increase Bitcoin's likelihood of dropping back down to 91. Now, I don't think that's the most probable scenario, but you guys let me know your thoughts, as there is a 200-day exponential moving average there. And Bitcoin's RSI has declined in tandem with the price, signaling stronger trader conviction behind the ongoing sell-off. As of June 7th, today, the RSI, which is the relative strength index, was reading a 52, reflecting weakening upside momentum, and a break below 50 would intensify this downwards pressure. To regain the control, the bulls must reclaim the Bitcoin 20-day exponential moving average, which is the purple wave resistant, at 105, which we're currently above, so it's a good sign. A drop towards 91 could effectively lower the Bitcoin potential to hit at 150,000. But again, that's the bear scenario, and we represent the bulls, so take that, suckers. A bearish divergence has formed between the price and RSI, mirroring the 2021 cycle top when RSI trended lower despite the higher price highs. That divergence preceded a 61% correction towards its 200-week EMA, which is the blue wave outline here in this weekly chart. A similar structure is now visible with a divergence forming just below the 112 high, the current all-time high achieved on the 22nd, and projected pullback target near the 200-week EMA at 64. Imagine a 52% decline from here. Again, I'm highly skeptical. I think the next leg up of the bull is here, but you guys got to let me know your thoughts. This historical setup cast doubt on Bitcoin reaching the widely discussed 150 target before the end of this year, especially if the divergence comes with a broader market top similar to the past cycle. Veteran Peter Brandt adds further weight to the outlook. He says in his May 2025 analysis, he identified a rising wedge pattern and warned that Bitcoin must reclaim its parabolic trend line to stay on track for 125 to 150. Now, I disagree with Peter Brandt. Oftentimes, not my favorite analyst, but then again, it's one perspective. Let me know if you agree or disagree. He notes that failure to do so could mark the end of the current bullish cycle, potentially triggering a typical 50 to 60% drawdown. Now, I do believe we will see a 50 to 60% drawdown, but after hitting the cycle peak of above 200,000, and that's my bear scenario. My base case for the broskies, as you guys know already, is 420. Bull scenario, 1.1 million. But regardless how high we climb the cycle, I do see a very foreseeable drastic drawdown. But I don't think it'll be 90% like we've seen in previous cycles, considering we now have the institutional adoption and things have changed drastically since then, when the previous cycles were always driven by the retail. You know, this particular cycle is definitely driven by the institutions and now governments and stuff like that. But despite growing technical warnings, some analysts remain confident in Bitcoin's path to 150. We have another analyst here citing potential bull flag structure, predicting Bitcoin price boom to 150. I personally feel we'll be here before you know it, potentially even this summer. I mean, we could even go as high as 200,000 over the summer, but you guys let me know your thoughts. Also, breaking news before I pull up the charts. This was just shared. President Trump says he selected a new Federal Reserve chairman and that it will be announced very soon. Will it be Nipinator? Get that printer going. And Max responded, I can't wait. Bitcoin 2.2 million in play. See ya on the other side. We don't need no water. Let the motherfucker burn. Burn. Fiat. Burn. That's all I'm saying. Print more. And he also dropped the bombshell yesterday. I am launching the Orange Pill Party and running for president in 2028. Let's go. So I wrote Max Kaiser for president 2028. And I may be the first person to have officially announced it after Max himself, in which he reposted it. He also polled his audience, who will you vote for? And make sure you're following Orange Pill Party, which is his one of his secondary, obviously, accounts on X. He created it back in 2022, just FYI. So maybe he's been planning it. But you can see 71% of his audience out of the 1,600 votes they voted or will vote for Max's Orange Party. I mean, absolutely, no question. Or Elon's America Party. I know one thing for fact. I would personally never vote for Elon under any circumstance, especially after the stunt he just pulled publicly, which a lot of people believe was scripted, including myself. I say if I was a betting man, 80% chance all that shit was purely scripted. But either way, I don't trust them. I'm voting Max's OPP. You down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. Stacking BTC. I put Elon pushes Satanism. And maybe I'll give you a little Elon rant on what kind of Satanism he's been pushing and why I don't trust the man. But anyways, that's a topic for another conversation. Looking at some of the live charts, we'll do a little live chart action. Jackson satisfaction. Bo Jackson for the broskies. And yeah, we'll check out some of the live charts. Here we see it right here. And give me a second, I'll switch out the chat from the Rumble to the YouTube. Yesterday we had some issues with the YouTube chat, so I had to switch it out. But anyways, we're here. You should be able to see there. But anyways, this is a 1 hour chart. You can see yesterday we had a nice staircase to heaven climb, and we have been slowly but surely gaining momentum in the price action. Currently 106 at the time of the live stream via Coinbase, via TradingView, via the chart we're analyzing. Checking out the 4 hour. As you can see, pretty little bitty back on the climb. Right shoulder, no particular bull scenario target. But zooming out, we'll check out the daily chart. It does show After we bottomed out, we had a nice, recovery from the 101 range, and we're continuing that on the daily. Another green candle thus far. No particular bull targets on the daily, but we'll check out the weekly. I'm pretty confident we're still going to have the 124 sexy cup and handle target because that's been there for like over 6 months. It still is there. I personally feel that's going to be the next leg up once we can recapture price discovery, which is currently 112 achieved on May 22nd. We also have the rising wedgie, the only wedgie I approve of. And zooming out from the weekly, we'll take a look at the monthly, and tomorrow we'll get a new weekly close. It seems it's probably going to be in the red. We did have 7 green consecutive weekly candle closes, and then we had a red last week, and it looks like this week we'll have another red. Checking out the monthly, for the month of April and May, we had green closes, and thus far for the month of June, we're in the green, but barely, and it's still so early. But anyways, you guys let me know where you feel the pretty little bitty likely to take us next, and I'll read your comments out loud and let me know regarding if you're down with OPP. And I'm not talking about Naughty by Nature's OPP, which is other people's, you know what I mean? But anyways, shout out Ricky Norwood. What does Elon believe? And the question is, what doesn't he believe? What does he believe? We'll discuss it later on the uncensored version of the pod. I'm happy to get into a deep dive into the Black Eye Club and go full retard mode on you guys if you really want me to take it there. 112 was 15 days ago. Right on, Mike. It feels like yesterday. Yeah, I mean, apparently he shoulder checked Besson in the White House just before the Black Eye pick appeared. There's a lot of theories surrounding that infamous shiner and that black eye and that Black Eye Club. Please read my last 2 comments, JV. You got it. Just give me a second and see what I missed. I found out where Elon got the black eye. He was fighting with Scott Besson. Wow. Was there any video to verify this, or did Scott Besson do a testimony? Or I'm curious which information. I'm sure you probably shared it with me. I haven't been checking my messages, but that's an interesting theory. Scott Besson. There seems to be a lot of stories now that JD Vance was pro Elon and the secret to getting Elon in the White House and all these relationships. I don't know what I believe, but I'm thinking it's all political theater because I don't trust any politician, especially at the White House, out of all the houses there are. I mean, how many times did cocaine appear at the White House, for Christ's sake? Who did it belong to? Was it all hunters, is the question. Let's take it there. Let's go. Shout out Big Mike, by the way, if you're watching, Mr. Obama. I told the fam I would find out what happened. Oh, right on. So Scott Besson, I want to know why. What sparked it? Why would he give Elon a shiner? JV, one of his chicks, probably slugged him. Here's one thing we can all agree upon. His 5-year-old tussling with the 5-year-old didn't give him a shiner. Can we all agree the official narrative is bullshit? And we'll get into the deep dive, all the different theories. But can we all agree the theory they tell you it is, it's not? And anything they tell you, anytime their lips move, it's not factual, it's not truthful. Can we at least agree on that? Let me know. One of the Secret Service people let it out on X. It got removed soon after, but I got a screenshot. Nice. Well, that's interesting. JV, one of his chicks, one of his 30 chicks. Oh, sorry, I forgot my... Exactly, just my bad. How many times was Hunter Biden caught at the White House? You know how many parties they had with ordering $50,000 to $100,000 worth of hot dogs and cheese pizzas? It's just unacceptable. I mean, when Obama was in an office with Big Mike, it was nothing but a big party. I dare say it may have been a big Diddy party. And how many times have we seen the Obamas with Diddy? And if you didn't figure it out, Diddy was actually a Democrat asset. He ran the vote or die campaign for the Democratic Party to convince all the black community to always vote Democratic. You guys remember that? Vote or die. I sure do. Elon and Besson were arguing about the big bill at the White House. BOA, tarde, todos com like Almero. What it do? Welcome to the live stream. And again, welcome everyone joining us. We're up to 600 people here. Greatly appreciate the support, fam. We did the TA. We did the market watch. We're going to start diving into the news and the headlines next. Shout out Fairground. Appreciate all the love, brother. Just hit you with a repost. Shout out James Moliette. Bitcoin News is here. Come join the fam. Appreciate it, brother. Keep the comments coming. Besant reminds me of an Undertaker. I don't really know him. He's like one I know least about. At the White House, at least. Elon doesn't like the fact the AI is going to be running the government. And we're adding the 5. Doesn't Elon own one of the top AI companies in the world? Jeez Louise. Grok. I can't stand Grok, by the way. I think it's the worst AI out of them all. Big Mike, and that's him. The big guy. I call him the big guy. He's the biggest guy of all the guys that I've ever seen, especially pretending to be the first lady. Just unacceptable. It's not a good look. You know what I mean? It's disrespectful to the real women like Melania. Big Mike. But anyways. All right. Next story, yo. We have a lot to share. Welcome, everyone. Happy Stack and Saturday. The next headline reads, Trump touts meme coin as sentiment gauge as 520 unlock-a-nears. And how many of you have any sort of exposure to the Trump meme coin? Do let me know. U.S. President Trump signals support for the idea that his official meme coin reflects public sentiment about his leadership. Trump shared a Newsmax article discussing how his official crypto token serves as a gauge of political momentum, echoing views shared by some crypto industry figures. And while the president may recognize his meme coin as a success barometer, the token's market performance paints a more sobering picture if it is to be used as a sentiment gauge. Precisely. Not a good look, Trump, is all I'm saying. At the time, his official Trump meme coin traded at $10, down 85% since the $73 all-time high back in January. A scheduled 520 million token unlock in July could apply to further downwards pressure. Now, is it safe to assume, is that going to the insiders? I mean, typically with these meme coins, the insiders are the ones that get rich. Typically, retail get wrecked. But anyways, according to the on-chain data compiled by Tokenomist, only 26% of the Trump token total supply has been unlocked, 73%, which is about 735 million tokens yet to enter circulation. What do you think is going to happen, broskies, when all this is unlocked and then it floods the market? It's going to ultimately make the price be watered down, no different than fiat when they print the dirty little fiat, tulip bulb mania. Now, on July 18th, Trump tokens amounted to 25% of the current circulating supply to hit the market. Tokenomist data shows 50 million tokens valued at 520 million will be unlocked. A large number of tokens hitting the market has the potential to put further downside pressure on the token price, especially if the demand doesn't scale in parallel. What is it going to do? Offer another lunch? Whoever is the top meme coin holder, he's going to have to do another promo. It led up to the unlock on June 7th. Trump's son, Eric, attempted to bolster market confidence using the Trump-backed crypto company World Liberty Financial, announcing the WLF plans to acquire a substantial amount of the meme coin tokens. The token price didn't react significantly, leading commentators to say it was not a good sign, hence a bad omen. Ultimately, whether investors absorb the upcoming unlock or react with a market sell-off could indicate a broader political enthusiasm towards Trump's leadership. Personally, I don't think it means a whole lot. It's a fucking meme coin at the end of the day. Using meme coins as a tool to measure public sentiment isn't new. Anna Mocha, Brand's co-founder, shared that Trump tokens' rapid rise was due to hype and novelty. Well, I do agree with that. It's definitely all hype. However, the executive said in the long run, it could reflect broader attitudes towards Trump's presidency. You guys let me know your thoughts. I'm curious if any of you did invest in the token. How many of you got in and out? Did you flip it for a gain or a loss? Or are you still holding on to any of the tokens? Or did you stay far away from it? And also, what about Melania coin? I think it was like 24 hours after the launch of the Trump meme coin, Melania launched her own coin, which led us to believe, who's next? Time traveler Baron? You know what I mean? But anyways, I'll read your guys' comments. Again, welcome everyone joining the live stream. Be sure to say hello. This is live and interactive. JV, maybe Elon was pissed Trump was not recognizing Pride Month. That's fucking hilarious, brother. That might be comment of the day. For those that don't know, Elon has a transgender child. Transgender agenda. Nothing to see here. People with no sense of humor come up with ideas like that. Zero exposure on any shit coins. Oops, sell that poison to some stranded soul. Hey, keeping it real, Greg. Got to keep it real. Happy Saturday, fam. 111 in play. Shout out Ricardo. traded Trump, definitely not an investment. It's definitely not a store of value. That's for sure. Shout out to the Buzzhead. I appreciate the repost. I appreciate the comments. You guys are awesome. Let me make sure I repost all of you guys. Let me know who got that Bitcoin swag.
We fire it up, moon up, doing up, yup,
Dancing on inflation like it's 1984. Ain't no Fed chair telling me where to go. Haters talk smack, I just nod and stack. Flex that orange B like a royal flag. Tap brew smooth, got a flex so pure. Even my memes got a network secure.
You hear that cha-ching? It's my bitty bling. That sound money shaking up the game. Satoshi style, truth on the chain.
JV coin next. I'm pretty confident someone's probably already created it. Try and make a quick buck. I'm pretty sure we probably had a nip coin or two, but who knows? Obviously, I do not endorse anything except Bitcoin, just to be clear. And just in case the algorithm is trying to terminate me at this very moment, in which I genuinely believe they are, I do not promote any illegal Ponzi schemes. I don't promote harmful and dangerous content in my videos. I don't promote get rich quick, and I don't promote cash gifting. I don't promote any of that, which is deemed harmful and dangerous, in which they accuse me of. And for those that missed the memo, earlier this week, I had like 30 or so videos removed from my channel, all under that same false allegation that I'm promoting harmful and dangerous content. And I appealed all of them, and the majority of them, the appeals were rejected. So for what it's worth, though, hence it's important to follow me on X and Rumble, because we can wake up any day and all 3,000 plus videos will be removed. It's only a matter of time, because, you know what I mean, that's what these lizard folk do best, is remove JV's content. I am a Bitcoin freak, been bummed by so many other shit coins that I can't even remember them all. What makes Bitcoin unique? No president, or no prez. Correct, no CEO, no board, no special interests, early investors, no central control. Exactly. Bought Trump kind of early, sold 2/3 initial investment, 3x profit. Glad to hear you made a profit. Is that Chandy's voice or the AI? I don't know if you're being sarcastic, but as you know, all of Chandy's music is produced with AI. So she writes the lyrics. Sometimes some of the songs I co-write with her, but the one we're playing is 100% written by Chandy, and she produced it. She's never used her own voice in a song that I'm aware of, at least, that we have played here on stream.
Yeah, we got that timeless flame. You hear that cha-ching?
They are going after all the people saying stuff about the Bitcoin ecosystem. It's bullshit. Yeah, my thinking, trying to make sense of it, is they attack Bitcoin purists. I don't know how else to slice it. And it's obviously unjust, but what are you going to do? It's their fucking platform at the end of the day. So my understanding is, if shit hits the fan and they do terminate my account and there's nothing I can do, we'll continue to stream on X and Rumble and every other platform except YouTube. The silver lining is you can still find all 2,000 plus episodes on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play, anywhere podcasts can be found. I am on every platform. The only one giving me trouble removing my content is fucking YouTube. You know what I mean? And I'm also streaming live every day on X and Rumble, so you can still find all the live streams on virtually everywhere, except YouTube is now removing everything. And it's sad, but I'm not in control, obviously, and it is what it is. They ultimately dislike Bitcoin, and anyone that is for it, I agree. I've been there either way, bro. Yeah, YouTube's always been like a love-hate relationship. It's like a double-edged sword. The thing I love about it, our community. I mean, we've built this community from the ground zero for the past 7 years, and you guys are amazing. I love my CNA fam. The part that sucks is just the platform. We're dependent upon it, and when you're dependent upon a platform, I mean, shit. You got to play by their rules, and even if you play by their rules, they can create false allegations, and there's just no human being in the process to straighten it out, because it's all done by the AI and the algorithm. I don't think there's human beings in there looking to fuck me over. I just think their algorithm is designed to fucking penalize Bitcoin purists, content creators such as myself, especially those speaking the truth, which is a very rare thing in today's day and age. So at least that's my understanding I could be completely wrong. That's just my speculation of trying to make sense of the attack. You know what I mean? Oh, you're very welcome, Oracle. I greatly appreciate you. Iron sharpens iron. That's what I'm saying, pirates. They ultimately dislike the biddy. Number one. Well, apparently you're number one today, Darth Melva. So this gong strikes for you. Let's continue with the news. We're up to 800 people on the live stream. I dig it and greatly appreciate you guys. Let's continue. After the infamous freeze frame, of course, speaking of Elon, full porting Bitcoin could be Musk's trump card in the feud. According to Bitcoin purists and early OG Jan 3 founder, Samson Mao. That's right. So I want to break this one down for you. Let's start with Samson's tweet. And again, shout out Samson for reposting my content today. He wrote, Elon, it's time to go all in on Bitcoin. Tesla can take Bitcoin for payments again and implement a Bitcoin treasury strategy. SpaceX can give a discount on launches paid in Bitcoin so they can pretend to shoot those rockets into space. And force a hard money standard on the money printers. And that's coming again directly from Samson Mao. And now let's dive a little deeper. Mao urged Musk to accept Bitcoin payments for Tesla. I agree there because he once was accepting it back in 2021, and then he pulled the plug and was spreading the FUD that Bitcoin mining is like bad for the environment. And then he's like, when we can prove it's not bad and yada, 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 we'll accept the payments. Well, guess what? We've already proven that it's not harming the environment. More than 50%, from my understanding, is clean energy. And so he also wrote here, this is not financial advice, this is freedom advice. Do you think Elon would take that advice? I guess that's the million-dollar question. Let me know. Mao also proposed Musk's SpaceX offer launch discounts to customers who pay in Bitcoin. That's interesting. Force a hard money standard on the money printers. It comes after Mao recently shared it's been 3 months since Trump signed the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve executive order, but he has yet to buy any additional Bitcoin. He said the U.S. has to start acquiring Bitcoin this year to avoid being front run by other nations. I think he makes a great point there because timing is of the essence. What if Russia or China, you know what I mean, takes the pole position, starts stacking like madmen and grabbing hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin, and then the United States will be forever left behind. And he also wrote, at least do it before they freeze your fiat assets. Now, in my humble opinion, Elon represents the lizard folk and he follows all the agenda. I don't think he's off script here. I think this is what he was told to say. So I highly doubt that they would freeze his assets because I don't believe he's off course. I believe he's doing exactly what his handlers are telling him to do. So I don't think they're going to pull a Andrew Tate on him and freeze his assets or a Kanye West. You know what I mean? Because he's still a part of the corruption. Ultimately, what I'm trying to say, he's still fucking compromised. So I highly doubt that. However, if it was legit, then yeah, absolutely. He would know the government was going to freeze his assets because all of his fortune comes from government subsidies. But they can freeze that at any moment, the moment he steps out of line. So that's what people don't understand. His fortune doesn't give him freedom. It gives him control. Let that one sink in. Some Bitcoiners speculate that if Musk backed Bitcoin, he wouldn't hold back. Llama co-founder said if Musk were to go Bitcoin maxi, all bets are off in so many ways. He doesn't do anything small. And well, there's truth to that. He doesn't do anything small. And it was Max Kaiser, the first one to say, Elon is on the brink of going full Bitcoin maximalist. And I actually covered that as my featured headline, I think 2 episodes ago. So shout out to the high priest. He's built or buy his way to the biggest Bitcoin treasury. He'd accept Bitcoin in all his businesses. He'd be joining the Bitcoin presidents on the world stage, promoting it as the only path to freedom. But clearly, why doesn't he? That's the question I want you to ask yourself. The feud started after Musk led office as an advisor to Trump and then called his tax bill disgusting abomination on June 3rd. It escalated June 5th after both traded public insults on X. Musk said Trump's plans for sweeping global tariffs will cause a recession in the second half of the year. Meanwhile, Trump said in a post on Truth's social platform that terminating Musk's government subsidies and contracts would save, that's a fucking fact. Kudos to Trump for even saying that. It would save us billions because why do you think the government pays him billions to send these rockets to pretend they're going into space? It's just a big waste of money. So Elon is a part of the waste. ironic as that sounds. Musk has frequently mentioned crypto over the years. Most recently, June 2nd, he said on X, rolling out a new messaging feature with Bitcoin-style encryption, which means he's not embracing Bitcoin, and I'd expect nothing less, because here's what I discovered, bigger picture, and fuck it, I'll just speak my mind here. Satanists don't like Bitcoin. People who believe in God and Jesus tend to love Bitcoin. So if you're pushing the satanic agenda, I do not expect you to embrace Bitcoin on the world stage. Elon falls in that category. You guys are entitled to your own opinions. I'm going to read them out loud. And again, opinions are like assholes. We all have them. But at the end of the day, I firmly do believe that. There is a reason he stopped accepting Bitcoin payments and was spreading the same FUD that Ripple was spreading about Bitcoin. There's reasons he hasn't converted his fiat monopoly money into Bitcoin. Is because he's a Satanist, and his handlers and the people that control him are Satanists, and he doesn't have the free will to do anything he wants. You guys think, oh, he has all the money in the world, he can do anything he wants. Not how it works. Sorry, that's not how it works. People like Max Kaiser can do anything he wants because he has true freedom. He has Bitcoin money, which is the ultimate fuck you money. Fiat money, when the government controls it, equals you're enslaved. So in my opinion, Elon is just another peon, enslaved puppet. And you're about, oh my God, JV, how dare you say that about our savior, Elon Muskrat. But that's how I genuinely feel. I mean, so it is what it is. I have no idea why the U.S. government has not bought Bitcoin, as it is obvious many other... Well, I dare say the U.S. government's ran by Satanists. How many times I got to say this? Anyone not embracing Bitcoin, the forces behind not allowing them to embrace it is satanic. Satan and Satan's demons do not like Bitcoin, okay? They do not like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is from God. Satanists despise giving God glory for anything, including creating humans, let alone creating this earth, right? So they're going to say, we come from monkeys. There was a big bang. Give God no credit. Elon falls in that category. Never gives God any credit, and he's a Satanist. He openly rocks satanic attire, and he praises the Baphomet. And he also openly mocks Jesus. And he is not a true Bitcoiner. He's just playing the game. He's a technocrat, and he's not to be trusted. I trust Trump more than Elon, and I don't trust neither. But Elon's in a whole different category. That's all I'm saying. He's not my savior. Jesus is my savior. Can I get an amen? And Jesus, if he was here right now, he'd be telling us about Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. One thing's for sure, Jesus wouldn't be pushing Dogecoin. Can we agree on that, broskies? If Jesus was here, he wouldn't say, buy Dogecoin. Dogecoin. That's an attack against Bitcoin, if you haven't figured that out. Dogecoin is a fucking attack against Bitcoin. You could disagree. Agree to disagree. But that's how I see it. Anyways, save what you were just going to say for the Rumble. I want to hear it. Good point. Thanks for the reminder, Oracle. I get on these rants. No wonder they're trying to cancel me. But yeah, it is what it is. Let me check the X feed. We're going to continue with the news. I just don't trust that guy at all. I just don't understand why everyone loves him. I don't get it. Fuck YouTube. Thank you, Ryan. I'm with you. I'm with you on that, brother. Just reposted you, bro. Repost, repost, the repost, the repost, the repost, the repost. I don't trust any person or government or idealism. I don't trust one, but that's another discussion. Jesus wouldn't push no coin. He'd be pushing a free society. He'd be pushing God and God's word. He wouldn't be pushing NASA's satanic agenda like Elon does. Can we all agree on that? Can I get an amen? What it do? Shout out, Serge. Good to have you here. JV, your rants are great. Thank you. Anyways, let's continue. Next story of the day. Where did we leave off? We did Trump and Musk. Next is the 31 million donation regarding Ross that he recently received and the origins. And then we'll discuss the latest from Arthur Hayes Just Blaze, projecting Bitcoin hit a million during Trump's presidency. And then we'll do some live Q&A. We're up to 900 people on the live stream. So yeah, headline here, 31 million Bitcoin donation to Ross traced to Alphabet and not the Silk Road. That's right, according to the intel shared by trading firm Chainalysis with Wired. The 300 Bitcoin donation did not originate from the Silk Road at all. Instead, the funds appear to trace back to Alphabet, a now defunct darknet market that operated between 2014 and 2017, well after the Silk Road takedown. Alphabet was reportedly 10 times the size of Silk Road at its peak, was known for trafficking in drugs, malware, and illegal services. Now, Phil Larratt, Chainalysis Director of Investigations and the former UK law enforcement official, said there are reasonable grounds to suspect the Bitcoin came from someone involved with Alphabet, likely a former vendor, given the size of the amount. Prominent blockchain investigator Zach XBT, who had earlier examined the donation, also concluded the funds did not come from Silk Road. Now, despite the sender's use of Bitcoin mixing services, Zach XBT traced the Bitcoin to a wallet previously flagged by Chainalysis as connected to illicit activity. He shared his conclusion with Wired, wherein he noted that the donation itself may be genuine, but not legitimate funds. Additional clues suggest the person behind the transfer may have been actively trying to avoid detection. Zach XBT discovered the same individual had previously cashed out other crypto through centralized exchanges in small spread out amounts. That's crazy that even with using the mixers, they can still trace back the origins of like virtually everything when it comes to crypto, hence the blockchain. This behavior is consistent with the effort to evade the asset freezing or the scrutiny and doing the Alphabet crackdown. Chainalysis reported declined to share specifics on how exactly it linked to the donation, but it is important to note that the firm is widely known for its expertise in mapping illicit activity across blockchain networks and played a crucial role in dismantling the now defunct marketplace during the multinational law enforcement initiative known as Operation Bayonet, involving the FBI, the DEA, and Europol. Wow. The crackdown later led to the conviction of Brian Hunter Harrell and Alphabet. I never even fucking heard of Alphabet. Let me know if you guys have. He was sentenced to 11 years in prison, the founder. And as for Albrecht, he has not publicly addressed the donation, nor do I think he should, nor do I think he has to. So there you have it. Yo, who do you think that is? Do you think it's just like someone that made a lot of money thanks to Ross early on and just wanted to show his appreciation? Let me know your thoughts. There was a lot of speculation in the beginning that he must have sent it to himself. I don't think that. I don't think it would have made any logical sense to send it to yourself, because if you already had it in another wallet, just leave it in that other wallet. Why create the attention of, wow, somebody just sent me $30 million. You know what I mean? It's true. He has to keep his rants off of the rumbles. YouTube is sensitive. Free speech is only for the rich, not even for them. Correct. My understanding is free speech doesn't exist because there's no major platform that will allow you to speak freely if you have a big following. Like, for example, they're not going to put Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, on any mainstream media outlet. Why? Because freedom of speech doesn't exist. He has a big following, and what he says matters. So they're not going to allow you to speak freely. So in return, they blackball him from every platform. They froze his assets, and just like they did with Tate, with the war against the Tate brothers. No different. And now I saw today the Tate brothers are suing the BBC for $1 billion, and I hope they win. Fuck the BBC. Remember my lyrics? Stacking BTC like Tate versus the BBC. Stacking the biddy like BTC OGs. Shout out to the Tate brothers.
Oh, bring me up, biddy glow. Prize discovery, yeah, let it show. Bang, 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 like a B-52, we built a biddy.
Stacked revolutionary love shack.
I'm stacking sats like it's Max and Stacy. Stacking sats cause tax is crazy. I'm stacking sats cause the IMF hates me.
Stacking sats cause the haters don't faze me. No Diddy, no Jay-Z. Stacking the biddy like it's Nipsey and JV. Stacking the biddy like it's paper and Chandy. Stacking BTC like caffeine in my canteen. Life is a game of chess.
That makes biddies the damn queen. Andor will bring you tears. Everyone is saying Andor is the best series. Interesting. Once Disney took over the series, I lost all interest. Go figure. Go woke. Go broke. Famous saying. Super saying. Just saying. But yeah, free speech is, yeah. Yo, number 1 million in play, don't forget. Wait, I don't see if I understand that. Yo, JB, 1.1 million in play. Oh, yeah, that's right. 1.1 mil is in play. I'm looking for my prescription somewhere on the desk here. Just what the doctor ordered. I found it, but the glare is a motherfucker. It says 1.1 million, I swear. It's just hard to see with the glare. Hell of a glare today, man. JB, the British are going to overboard with trying to shut people up. I saw that. They're just appearing at people's houses. The British are trying to shut up our very own Oracle with cease and desist letters. Can't make this shit up. 225,000 for the bear. 1 million for the cycle peak. Can I get an amen? You get a gong strike with the big striker. The big gong strike. Baby. It's crazy, though, how the big striker is so much lower. So we got to hit it with the little one and make the loud sounds to wake up the neighbors, just in case they're sleeping on the Bitcoin price. I love how the black looks in the B cam. It's crazy how lighting changes everything. The black looks black, right? Black glasses, Darth JV, black cap, black shirt. But when you go to the A cam, it looks like I'm wearing a gray. It doesn't look black. Jeez Louise, it's like, JV, your black is fading, right? With the direct sunlight on me, I like the look there. But I also like the look of the Nippinator indicator. Look at that little pup. What's going on, Nippinator? Hey, Nip, I'm talking to you. Come over here. I want to pet you. Come. Don't keep us waiting. There's only 10,000 people watching you live right now, Nippinator. Give it up for the Nip. How we doing, Nip? You're going to do a backflip? Are we running for chairman of the SEC this time around? Who are you voting for? You going to vote Max Kaiser 2028? Orange Pill Party? Oh, hell yeah. Nippinator's in. I dig it, Nip. You're a cute pup. Anyways, keep being a good boy. You're getting a lot of love, Nippinator. The people love you, I must say. They're all voting Nip for the new chair of the SEC. Can I get an amen? Nippinator for the new chair? All right, Nip. You go back to bed. Do what you do best. Channel Satoshi. Give us a Nippinator indicator if you have to. Okay, JV, with 7 months left, you still have a 450 mid-target? Yes. It's not 450, 420. For the broskies. No Diddy on my last comment. Let me see. I like the big striker. No dating because there's a smooth gong and the last longer vibrations. Okay. It's more smoother. I'll have to do more of the big gong. I'm just so used to the louder sound. And the bigger one doesn't get that loud sound. And also I got to be more careful because if I do a bit of a strike and I push it, this whole fucking thing is going to fly off my desk. Kind of just like my headphones did right now. So there's a good chance if I strike this the wrong way, it's just going to fly off my desk. So that's another reason I like to use the little striker. The junior gong. Shout out Damian Marley, junior gong, for those that don't know. Nips for the new chair. Exactly. JB, keep hitting the gong and I will need to go to the ER. Excessive excitement. Well, we're going to do one more gong strike for you, brother. Nippinator indicator. Mona. But anyways, you guys ready? We're going to transition to our feature story of the day. We just smashed, what do we got? 900 people here live. Not too shabby. Did we discuss Trump raising the $12 billion? Oh, no. I don't even think we discussed. We got 2 more stories. All right, let's get to the next story. We got 2 stories left because I don't think we did the donation, but I forgot one more story I kind of squeezed in here. Trump media to raise $12 billion via security offering to purchase more Bitcoin. The terms of the offering will be provided in prospective supplements filed with Time. For now, TMTG has clarified it intends to sell 84 million shares of the common stock at 0.0001 cent each. TMTG will sell 55 million shares to institutional investors. The company will also offer 28 million shares issuable upon conversion of a 0% convertible senior note due in 2028 for the amount of $1 billion. The company noted it has flexibility to sell the shares at varying prices through different channels, underwriters, dealers, and agents. Quoting them here, we provide more information about how we and the selling security holders may sell the securities in the section entitled Plan of Distribution. We will receive the proceeds from the issuance and sale of our common stock, preferred stock, debt, securities, warrants, rights, units. We will not receive any proceeds from the sale of shares by selling security holder pursuant to the prospectus, the firm stated. And earlier in the week, TMTG reportedly disclosed it was raising $3 billion. This is the company that owns Truth Social, like all the Trump stuff, to buy Bitcoin. And about 24 hours later, news emerged the company raised approximately $2.5 billion, which we covered here on the stream, to implement the Bitcoin acquisition plan. So we know they're at least buying $2.5 billion worth of Bitcoin and potentially up to $12 billion, considering that's what they're now raising. TMTG holds Bitcoin on the balance sheet, while digital asset platform Crypto.com is being the custodian for them. TMTG's latest Bitcoin purchase and the intensifying wave of the Bitcoin adoption in the corporate sector are fueling speculation that the $12 billion raise will be targeted at more Bitcoin acquisitions. I think that's a great guess. I don't know if all of it will go into Bitcoin, but if I was to speculate, I mean, there is no second best. That's all I'm saying. But anyways, let me know your thoughts with that. I just wanted to throw that in as a bonus. It got my attention. And next up, we'll be covering the Arthur Hayes just blaze 1 million prediction during Trump's presidency, which ultimately means by the year 2028, which is the time of the next halving, 3 years out. And we'll go from there. Then we'll do some live Q&A. I don't know about y'all, but today is a good stat stacking Saturday. Jason Buck, it's good to have you back, brother. It's been a hot minute. Hopefully you've been well. It's good to see you here. Junior Gong, freshman drummer. That's not all JB is banging. Whoa! Bang, bang, bang like the B-52.
That makes biddies the damn queen, stacking BTC till they cancel me and I can't stream like Biggie. It was all a dream. Now the biddy has set me free.
Going, 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 let's biddy up, babe. Bang, bang on the door, baby, never let it fade. Auto house strong, yeah, we built it this way.
Oh, what are your guys' thoughts about Patel claiming there's no video at all of Epstein and the horrific things that went on there? I'll tell you this much. I don't know this guy. He kind of just appeared out of nowhere. I know some people love him. I don't trust him at all. Listening to the interview with Joe Rogan, and maybe he's telling you the truth in the sense he's not privy to it, because he probably isn't. Just because he's running the 3-letter organization doesn't mean he's privy to anything. He's just a spokesperson, another puppet for the organization to do their bidding and lies. But I do not trust this guy at all. I watched like a 2-minute clip with Rogan, and I just got very sus vibes immediately from him. They're all in on hiding whatever's been going on that crazy island, Gilligan's Island. So, and you can just see from his eyes, I don't trust his body language. I don't trust him at all. I thought it was kind of cool that he was speaking about it on Rogan. But like I said, unacceptable is all I'm saying. CW Bath is doing nothing. I'm thinking about reviving it on ETH, but not until the meme shows sign of strength. Keep the website up for another year. Appreciate the update on that, Mr. Bone Daddy. Darth Melda still got the #1 crown, holding it down with gold by the pound. Because remember, didn't the other lady that works for Trump, the blondie girl, I don't know all these names, but the blonde girl said there was tens of thousands of videos and they were going to expose everything. And then a few weeks later, sorry, there was nothing. We're not going to release anything. There's nothing to be shown. Then why did Maxwell go to jail? If there's no evidence of any of the... Come on now, guys. Come on, guys. Man, what a nice day out here in the BC. Shout out DNA. But anyways, let's transition to our feature story. Then I'll talk my shit and we'll speak some conspiracies if that's what you guys are into. But next story of the day and our featured story of the day. All right, fam. Now for our feature story of the day. Bitcoin will hit 1 million per coin during the Trump presidency, which means by the year 2028, which ironic enough is the time of the next halving and the next presidential election. So let's break this down. And this is as per Arthur Hayes. Just blaze. And here are some of the key points. Bitcoin could hit an astronomical 1 million price target, which is virtually a 10x from here by the time of the next halving. According to Arthur Hayes, just blaze. And if you're not familiar with him, he is a billionaire, very smart man, early Bitcoin adopter, and the co-founder of the BitMEX exchange, which goes back a long time ago. It used to be like the number one exchange for doing what is it called, trading with leverage and like all that kind of stuff. And then FTX kind of took over. I think it was like a government coup working alongside compromised insiders like Gary Gensler. That's a story for another day. But anyways, while pro-Bitcoin initiatives from the government get all the attention, crypto investors should also keep their eye on the factors impacting the U.S. economy. Fiscal monetary policies embraced by the U.S. government could lead to money flowing into Bitcoin at a rapid pace over the next 3 years. And speaking of money rapidly flowing into Bitcoin, I also want to share this tweet from Max Keiser a little earlier off the back of this news from Trump. It looks like he was on his private jet. President Trump says he selected a new Federal Reserve chair and that he'll be announced very soon. Printer coming, Bitcoin, rocket ship to the moon. Max says, can't wait. Bitcoin 2.2 million in play. See you on the other side. That's what I'm saying. 2.2 million in play, bitty broskies. Now that Bitcoin has hit the 100,000 level, the future looks bright indeed. Some forecasts them pretty little bitty hitting a milli potentially this year. It could happen. I'm just saying. But it could take a full decade for Bitcoin to hit a million mark. I disagree with that. I'm highly skeptical it would take that long. However, Arthur Hayes says it will happen by the year 2028 or as early as 2028. And I can totally see that coming into fruition. There's a number of different ways to come up with a price of 1 million per bitty. One popular approach is to look at the current Bitcoin adoption rates around the world, then extrapolate how fast Bitcoin can grow over the next decade. The more use cases you can find for the bitty and the faster the Bitcoin grows, the higher the price target becomes. In fact, Kathy Wood of ARK Invest came up with her original 1 million price target for Bitcoin. And since then, she's raised the goalposts, actually many times, because we have covered it here on the pod. Or you can choose to compare Bitcoin to a specific asset and then assume the valuation gap between Bitcoin and that asset will narrow over time, for example, against gold. Right now, the asset that everyone is using for comparison is physical gold, which has an approximate market valuation of $20 trillion. So Bitcoin grows from a 2 trillion asset, and as of today is 2.1 trillion, into a 20 trillion asset, which is a mere 10x. That would imply a 10x return on investment. So given a Bitcoin current price of 100 G's, that leads to the future price target of 1 million. It makes it sound so very realistic. I genuinely feel we can 10x. If not this cycle, it will absolutely happen next cycle. And again, the next halving cycle begins in 2028. Ironic, it's exactly when Arthur Hayes foresees it occurring. But there's a third wave to value Bitcoin, and it focuses on how specific government fiscal and monetary policies can impact the crypto market. This is the approach that Hayes uses in his Bitcoin 2025 presentation. He just spoke at the Bitcoin Vegas conference and gave his speech on why he believes, Bitcoin's going to hit a milli. He thinks the U.S. government could inject nearly $9 trillion in liquidity into the economy over the next 3 years. Pretty little money printer go. Brr. Now that's significantly more than the $4 trillion that the U.S. government injected into the economy during the COVID pandemic of 2020. When that happened into 2020, 2021, the bitty price soared from 7,000 to 70,000 for a 10x return. In fact, we went from a bottom of 3,500, and I remember it like yesterday. In March of 2020, due to COVID, we crashed from like 7,000 back down to 3,500. Then 1 year later, in March of 2021, Bitcoin was above 60,000. So I don't know the exact number there, but it was a substantial run up in just a 12-month period. So if history were to rhyme, just that same run up, we'd surpass 1 million per coin. So it can happen a lot easier than you guys think. So why would the U.S. government want to inject $9 trillion into the economy? Well, it sounds like they have to. It comes down to the difficult macroeconomic problems facing the U.S. government. There's massive trade deficits with trading partners around the world. There's also massive fiscal deficits with no end in sight to government spending. And there are warning signs of recession and inflation everywhere. In many ways, 2025 has been a crash course study on how hard it is to solve these problems. For example, if you try to bring down government spending with the Doge cost-cutting programs, you risk a public backlash. And if you try bringing down the trade deficits using tariffs, you face a global investor backlash. Well, guess what? You can't tariff the pretty little bitty. Now, in the scenario envisioned by Hayes, the U.S. government is showing and going to find it harder and harder to find buyers for the debt. It can't offer higher interest rates on that debt to attract buyers because of the cost of the debt service is already staggeringly high. So we'll have to resort to more and more creative measures. And one of these, says Hayes, is a potential change to how the bank can buy U.S. government debt. This could lead to a bank bond buying bonanza, or as Max says, the fiat bond apocalypse. It's amongst us. At the same time, if tariffs lead to an economic pain for everyday Americans, then the U.S. government will be forced to do something, anything, to reduce some of the pain. Once midterm elections roll around in 2026, the pressure will intensify, and as longtime Bitcoin investors will tell you, this always leads to the same solution: pretty little money printer go burr. But what happens between now and the next halving? Within the next 3 years, many people assume the path to 1 million for the biddy is paved with the pro-crypto policies being rolled out by the Trump admin. They assume that the creation of the strategic biddy reserve will lead to significant government buying of Bitcoin, thereby pushing up the price over time. They assume that the new crypto legislation, combined with the hands-off approach to the crypto regulation, will be enough to juice the price of the biddy. However, if Bitcoin is going to hit 1 million during the Trump presidency, it'll likely require quite a bit of economic pain amongst the way. It might even require global investors to lose faith in the U.S. economy. I dare say they already have, especially in the U.S. dollar. And all of this very bad for America, of course. But at the same time, it could be very good for the biddy if it leads to new investor inflows into crypto. And so be careful what you wish for. And there you have it, yo. Let me know your thoughts. Will 1 million biddy price by the year 2028, as per Arthur Hayes, just blaze? Quantitative easing will shoot the Bitcoin to the moon. I must say I love Bitcoin, but everything's going. I just can't see how the Bitcoin goes 500,000 this year, even 1 million. But it's supposed to get to 1 million by 2028 if it has a big move at some point. I got a hunch in the next Black Rock fork, they will add extra sats, 1 billion sats instead of 100 million, 10x in their own stack, sort of printing money out of thin air. Keynesian economics has messed up the entire world. We need to get back to the scarce asset and the real value. JV, nobody wants long-term bonds right now. They have the auction and nobody showed up precisely. Greg says that would require the minor code change for the divisibility of the biddy. Just add the 2 decimal points. Also requires that all the minor nodes keep the miners away from Peter Schiff, is all I'm saying. In full faith, agree with the code change. Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to continue with the uncensored version of the pod. We're going to end the YouTube transmission. So head on over to the Rumble. It's rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net. And we're going to stick around for a bonus hour. Again, JV, CNA, uncensored. Head on over to the Rumble, rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net. Deuces to the tube. And there you have it. YouTube transmission should be ending. Let me check the